Alright guys, what's up? So I just want to do a quick video, some channel update, what's been going on, and some future plans for the channel, and some of my latest acquisitions. So as you know, I've gone through some medical issues with my wife with her cancer, and so I've had to sell off a lot of my high-end knives like my Curtis and my Sabenza and a few other knives. And lately, I mean, still have some nice production knives. And I got my ZT-801. That was an unexpected pre-order that I forgot about. And then I got this whale shark in a trade. I actually traded my 560 CBCF for this and another knife. And I've been loving this whale shark. It's sweet. Love the ZT. I've had like 3 ZTs though, or 560s, and I wanted to try. I've always wanted to try a whale shark. So when the opportunity arose for a, and this is a supposedly, I don't know if this was. He said it was factory anodized. I don't know, I've never seen one factory anodized, but it's got this heat coloring on the clip, and if you catch it in a certain light, it turns purple and bronze. You can see the purple there. So it's a super smooth knife. I mean, it's actually one of the nicest flippers I've had. I mean, it's just as smooth as that ZT was. It's just as smooth as this ZT, the 801. So it's a nice knife. I really like it. I also got a couple budget folders. Can move these out of the way. I got this. I've always wanted to try one of these tie lights, and finally got the opportunity to try one. It's actually quite smooth. I lived it up a little bit, and it just rockets open. I mean, there's a certain way you have to work these thumb studs. I forget, but so that's pretty cool. Pretty cool knife. Kind of that classic stiletto look. This is the 4-inch Zytil version, so it's the cheaper version. I only paid like $30 for it, so. But lately I've been kind of getting, and I got this Kershaw injection. Oh, but I almost forgot the other one I got. So I got this Kershaw injection, which is, you know, one of their Chinese-made folders, but it's a Rexford design. And looking up the actual Rexford injection, this knife looks, I mean, minus that it uses titanium and Damascus and some things on there as knives, but the handle shape is exactly the same, and the pivot looks identical, which is pretty cool. I mean, there's some custom touches on this knife. You know, like the G10 is really nice and textured, and it's got these vents in there. It's a really smooth knife also, and the thumb studs are pretty detailed. You can see that detail in there. It's kind of hard to pick up. See if we can get a focus on there. But the thumb studs are really nice, actually. They're not just your basic thumb studs. They have a lot of attention to detail, and those are usually things found on a custom knife. But so that's kind of nice. I mean, and it was $40. You know, I think I paid $40 Blade HQ. I actually picked it up in person there the other day. Wanted to check it out. This is the 3.5-inch, and I'm actually going to do a review of the knife once I've carried it. I've carried it a few times, and it's been a good little knife so far. So came screaming sharp. It's got a really nice slim pocket clip. It's a little tight, but mine's not as tight as other reviews I've seen. So seen a couple like overviews of this knife. Haven't seen a real review, so I'm gonna do an actual review of the knife after I've carried it for a while. So, but good little budget folder. And that same day I also got this SOG Snarl, which is a fixed blade, like the Silent Soldier. I mean, it looks identical to a Silent Soldier. It's obviously a collaboration between SOG and Browse blades. So it's just got your 9 CR13 MLV, I believe, which I'm not sure how that differs from 8 CR13 MLV, but it's a Chinese still. So it's not going to hold its edge as long as D2, but nice thing, it doesn't rust as easy as D2 either. And this is just a cool little knife. I've been enjoying this. I mean, that's kind of how I hold it. There's multiple finger holes. You could actually get all 3 fingers, but I use like this groove here and that front finger. And it's a good, you know, it could be a good self-defense last-ditch weapon. I actually carry this on my belt. It's got this nice sheath that comes with this nice belt clip, and I actually carry this like right in the front of my belt next to my belt buckle. So it just kind of carries horizontal, and it only weighs like 1.9 ounces, the knife, so I'm not sure. Well, let's see what the weight is with the sheath. So the sheath, with the sheath, is 3.5 ounces, so the sheath's actually kind of heavy. It's almost as heavy as the knife is, but it's actually a really good sheath. It's a you know, that molded plastic, injected nylon, whatever they call them. They're not Kydex, but it's actually a good sheath. It's got good retention. I mean, it's not going to fall out. It comes out pretty easy. It's also adjustable for retention here with these screws. And I've seen a few YouTube videos for like unboxings and stuff. Never really a review, so I'm going to review this one as well. But it kind of brings me to my next point, kind of where my channel's heading right now. In the past, I've done quite a bit of higher end production, semi-customs, mid-techs, custom. I had one custom knife, the F3. So I've done a lot of reviews and things on that, and the Hinderer, etc. But I'm kind of taking it in I've gotten some comments from some readers that I do every once in a while throw in a budget knife like my Swindle, and they like that, they have some of these higher knives, but I also make room in my collection for some budget-minded knives, because not everyone can afford, super nice knives. I can't even afford them right now. I mean, this I got in a trader. I want someone to buy it. This was a pre-order already prepaid for, so I mean, those are nicer. Those $200-$300 knives there, but here you have like a $40 knife. This is a $40 knife. This is a $40 knife. So kind of going to start a new segment on my channel, do reviews on budget-friendly knives, and I've got a couple new ones on the way from Kershaw, who, in my opinion, it makes the best budget-friendly knives. I do think the Spyderco Tenacious line and the Persistence Ambitious, those are good knives for the money too. But I do think Kershaw kind of holds the candle on that. Oh, jeez. Nice one. Just smacked the tripod. Actually, smacked the camera. Sorry about that. So I've got a couple new ones. I got the Cryo 2, which is actually only out for Cabela's, and the Thermite, which is also only out for Cabela's. And I happen to be a Cabela's Visa Club member, and I had some points, and I'm like, hey, I want to pick a couple of these up. So I'm going to do some reviews on those as well. Those would be kind of part of my budget-friendly knife series. But, I mean, there you're getting 2 Hinderer knives, and that's kind of the way that Kershaw's going right now. I don't think they have any U.S.-made knives coming out under the Kershaw brand this year. I could be wrong on that. But they've had the Shuffle, which is a cool little folder. I'm pretty sure that's Chinese-made. The Injection's Chinese-made. The Thermite and Cryo 2 are Chinese-made. Yeah, they're good budget folders. I mean, Kershaw's Chinese-made knives are better than some U.S.-made knives. So that's kind of where they're heading. The ZT line, obviously, is all made in the U.S., and they put out some sick knives this year. The 801 is by far my favorite, but that RJ Martin 0600 is really nice, just a little too big for my taste. And they have that new 301 black wash that just came out, and the 560 black wash, which I'm actually going to pick that one up for sure once Blade HQ gets them in stock. So, because I do love 560s, I just had so many, but I really like that black wash, and I think with the carbon fiber scale it would look just hot. But so it's kind of the way Kershaw's going, is their knives. They haven't really made a U.S. made knife in a while. I mean, I know the Skyline and the Blurs are U.S. made knives, but that's just kind of an old design. They don't have any kind of new designs in the U.S. made knives that I know of. I know they have that. Oh, they have another one coming out, and the name is completely escaping me. It's got a button lock, it's got titanium handles, but it's made in China. So it's going to bring the cost down. But the nice thing about Kershaw is you have a lifetime warranty. You can send your knife in anytime. They'll replace it. If there's any issues. They even do reblades on knives. I'm actually going up to the Kershaw factory here in a couple weeks, about 3 weeks. Probably taking my 550 that probably needs a new blade. The tip's been pretty blunted by dropping it on concrete. So hopefully, they can replace my blade for like $30, I think is the deal for ZT knives. I mean, those knives are going to last you a lifetime, and you're not going to have to spend a ton of money on them. Now, I'm a big lover of higher end knives because I do feel you get better materials like titanium, carbon fiber. You get, the smoothness of the knife. You get like a bearing system like in this Microtech and in this ZT. But there is definitely a place in my collection for value folders, and I didn't have any I had a bunch for a long time, and I sold most of them, and then I started getting high-end knives, then I sold those to pay for bills, and so I wanted to keep my collection growing without, breaking the bank. Right now, it's going to be with budget knives, and, they may go up for sale. That's kind of how I roll usually. I usually keep the higher-end knives and end up selling the budgets, but there is a place in everyone's collection, I think, for production knives and even these value folders. I mean, this is a $40 knife, and it's sweet. I mean, it's nice. It's smooth. It's got nice design features. It's not like a bland looking knife. It's a Rexford design. I mean, most Rexfords cost thousands of dollars. So the only other collaboration Rexford I can think of besides the ZTs are the Bokers, or the Boker. Wow, totally had drawn a blank. I used to own one. Epicenter. and that thing had bad lock rock and didn't center well. It was a nice looking knife, but it had the typical Boker quality control issues. But with ZT and Kershaw, you don't get that. And I am a big ZT Kershaw fan. I'm not gonna lie, but I like other knives. I mean, you've seen Microtechs. I have ProTech. I have a couple Emersons. I have a Strider. I have a few ZTs, a few Kershaws. I have a couple Spydercos. So I have a pretty wide variety of knives in my collection, but I could honestly get away with just having Kershaw and ZT in my collection and be pretty happy, I think. So, but anyway, just kind of a rambling video, just kind of a channel update. So you're going to see more value type knives, and I'm going to do videos on reviews on those knives and overviews, and they'll kind of be like a little series of overviews or budget friendly knives is what I'm going to call it. I've also got a guest blade coming to here probably maybe by the end of the week. I'm going to have a Ray Laconico Blast 2. My good buddy Eric is going to send that to me to check out. I've been drooling over one of those for a long time, and I barely missed out on one, and I almost did a trade with him for one, and so I'm going to check that knife out, and that's a full custom knife. So you're going to see some customs, probably not a lot of customs unless I get people loaning them to me, but you'll see some high-end production, and you'll see some budget-friendly knives. You're also going to see more gear-related reviews. I've got my bug-out bag that get-home bag I made with my 1022. I have my 72-hour bug-out bag set up, all done for my family. I kind of wanted to maybe do a video about that. I've got a ton of video ideas, and it's just not enough time. So, stay with me. Appreciate the subscribers. I'd like to get more, so pass the word. I'm on Instagram also, same username as YouTube. And Instagram's really fun. It's cool to just take quick 15-second videos of knives, or I love taking new pictures of the knives. So there's lots of good knife porn on there, and it's a good community. I mean, the Instagram knife community is pretty cool. I mean, it's actually pretty awesome. I had that situation with my wife, and people were sending me donations from Instagram. I mean, that's just awesome. So definitely, if you're not on Instagram, get on there, check it out. Follow me. You don't have to request. You go ahead and follow me. I'll follow you. I usually return the favor for people, but it's definitely a cool way to check out new knives and to meet some good people. So anyway, that's I think enough for today. Next video probably be up soon actually, and it'll probably, I don't think I did one on the ZT. I haven't done a full review on the ZT, the 801, and I'm going to do a full review. I've actually carried this knife a ton. I'm carrying it today. I carried it for a week straight after I got it. I've carried off and on since then, and it is just smooth as butter. I mean, it's just for the money. Speaking of, this can be considered a value folder because for under $200, you get full titanium construction, made in the USA. You get a bearing system. It's super smooth. You get a steel lock bar insert. I mean, it's hard to beat for the money. If you can afford $200, that's the knife to get. LMAX steel. So anyway, I'll do a review on that as well. So keep an eye out for those, and anything you want to see from my channel that I'm not doing, feel free to give me critiques. I'm very open. I'm not gonna get defensive or anything with you. If there's something you think I don't do well, or if there's something you want to see, if there's a certain knife you want to see, and if it's a budget friendly knife, I'll try to grab one. I mean, I think people are going to be excited about this Cryo 2 and this Thermite, because those are two Rick Hinder designed knives that the Kershaw just coming out. They're not quite available everywhere, just Cabela's right now, and the prices are a little bit higher than normal, but I decided to bite the bullet because I had some reward points and stuff. So anyways, yeah, that's it for today, guys. Take care, and have a good one.